need your permission to operate independently.
Permission granted!
Thank you.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the action classics that we feel deserve a little more love.
Save me a lot of paperwork if you just confess right now.
Number 20, The Northman. Director Robert Eggers has established himself as something of a visionary, developing evocative films with tons of personality.
Is the sword's nature, for it can only be unsheathed in the dark of night.
This was definitely the case with both The Witch and The Lighthouse, and Eggers' winning streak continued with 2022's The Northman.
Strike, brother, strike.
This hyper-violent revenge tale is steeped in Scandinavian mythology and contains some intense performances. Alexander Skarsgård, Nicole Kidman, and Anya Taylor-Joy kill it, pardon the pun, as leads, while singer Björk makes a memorable cameo early on in the film.
Release me.
You cannot escape what fate the Norns have spun. Now be gone!
The Northman is visceral viewing and isn't for the faint of heart, but provides tons of action for those willing to take a ride. Number 19, RocknRolla.
Let me tell you how this works. You're going in to drink, and I'm gonna have a cup of tea.
With classics like Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels under his belt, Guy Ritchie's bound to have at least one overlooked gem. Like most of his movies, this action crime comedy contains multiple storylines that all intertwine through happenstance. Throw in charming English wit and a heavy dose of violence, and you got a great action film.
Don't worry, he can't defend himself, he's got no head.
Albeit one that received mixed reviews from critics but was a hit with audiences. RocknRolla was number 1 at the box office in the UK when it was released and went on to gross over $25 million. That may be a far cry from the $83 million for Snatch, but still, Ritchie's 5th film deserves more appreciation.
You are something special, Mr. Johnny Quid.
Number 18, The Long Kiss Goodnight. There's a wealth of creative talent behind the scenes of 1996's The Long Kiss Goodnight.
I want a cigarette. I don't smoke. You used to.
Director Rennie Harlin has always been a reliable force for genre cinema, but it's the script from Shane Black that truly steals the show.
Look at this! Get this woman go. Okay, bye. What?
The creator of Lethal Weapon proves his mettle once again with a story that mixes intrigue with action in a manner that never lets up.
Who sent you? Why are you here?
I let you touch me, cowboy. I think I need a bath.
Gina Davis is both sexy and powerful in the lead as a woman with a past that she can't recall. Her eventual team up with co-star Samuel L. Jackson is chock full of chemistry, and the pair make a badass action couple. The Long Kiss Goodnight is yet another Shane Black scripted vehicle that's become a cult classic.
You're gonna die screaming. And I'm gonna watch.
Number 17, Demolition Man. Director Marco Brambilla comes from the world of modern art. This actually makes a lot of sense given the magnificent visual style of 1993's Demolition Man.
Look, I don't need a history lesson. Come on, Hal. Where the goddamn guns?
You are fined 1 credit for a violation of the verbal morality statute.
Brambilla didn't direct many films, but his creative stamp is all over the lived-in world from this action/science fiction hybrid.
He's going for a gun.
Who cares what this primate thinks? Resonate some understanding. The only place a person can even view a gun in this city is at a museum.
The dystopian future of a world without crime is turned on its head when a dangerous fugitive escapes from a cryogenic prison. The script discusses the necessity of violence to combat violence, and doesn't shy away from asking interesting questions.
You live up top, you live Cocteau's way. What he wants, when he wants, how he wants. Your other choice? Come down here, maybe starve to death.
At the same time, Demolition Man remembers to be profoundly entertaining and action-packed to a fault.
Say hello to my little friend!
Number 16, Upgrade. Logan Marshall Green had a solid resume prior to his starring in the 2018 action flick Upgrade, with supporting appearances in films like Prometheus and Spider-Man: Homecoming. However, Upgrade was a welcome surprise to many action fans, thanks to its intensity and palpable tension.
She was shot, that means he had a gun. She was shot, but not with a gun he was holding in his hand.
The flick was directed by Saw franchise veteran Lee Whannell. It took 1970s sci-fi tropes about body modification and gave them an updated coat of creative paint for the modern day.
Sam, he's got a knife! Sam!
I can see that. We have a knife too.
Green is great as a victim of violent crime who seeks revenge, while Winnell's direction balances the more comedic moments with sequences of realistic violence and outstandingly choreographed execution. Number 15, Attack the Block.
You know what that is? I'll tell you what that is. That's an alien, bruv. Believe it. Must have come from outer space trying to take over the Earth, innit?
You don't want to mess with the kids on this block. This campy sci-fi action movie is a fun twist on the alien invasion genre. Steeped in youthful innocence, it follows a local gang of kids fighting off aliens with fireworks, baseball bats, and a samurai sword. But that doesn't mean it's not violent. Director Joe Cornish conceived of the idea after he was mugged, and he interviewed kids in youth groups to find out how they'd fight an army of aliens. Plus, the acting's phenomenal for a cast of primarily teen actors. John Boyega, better known for his role in Star Wars The Force Awakens, received high praise from critics as the main character, Moses.
We ain't killing each other fast enough, so they decided to speed up the process.
Number 14, Haywire.
That's actually real?
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
A hero on the run storyline's always a good premise for an action thriller. In this one, Mallory Kane has been stabbed in the back by her employer/ex-lover, but you can't figure out why.
You can tell me right now why you sold me out and what you're into with Studer. Or you can tell me in 10 minutes, when I have my hands around your throat.
Half of the movie's told through flashbacks, which makes for an interesting and unconventional viewing experience. Actress Gina Carano, an MMA fighter in real life, performs all her own stunts, and the movie's all the better for it. The hand-to-hand combat scenes are fantastic, and Carano's character kicks some major butt. At certain points, viewers are just as lost as the main character is as to what's happening, but all the pieces of the puzzle come together in the end.
I'll let you know.
When I have him.
Number 13, The Rundown.
I pick up guns, bad things happen to people. I don't like that.
It's a rumble in the jungle, and The Rock is kicking butt and taking names. Dwayne Johnson plays Beck, a no-nonsense bounty hunter tasked with retrieving his boss's son from the Brazilian jungle. Of course, it's not as straightforward as that. Along the way, Beck ends up getting beaten up by a guy half his size and has an unfortunate encounter with a monkey.
Get out of here, monkey!
Johnson has undeniable chemistry with Sean William Scott, who plays the smart-mouthed bounty. All in all, the movie brings a lot to the table with its delightful back-and-forth dialogue and over-the-top characters. Plus, the final scene's pretty badass.
Whoa!
Number 12, To Live and Die in L.A.
I'd rather drink this shit pink cement.
I want to get Rick Masters.
There's nothing U.S. Secret Service agent Richard Chance won't do to bring down the man who killed his partner. Chance pulls every trick in the book and many off the book to bring down counterfeiter Rick Masters.
But if you can't come up with the front money, you're not for real.
The dialogue is sometimes clumsy and it may have received mixed reviews, but there's no denying the acting's good. Willem Dafoe's portrayal of Masters as a cold criminal is chilling.
What a tragedy. I want my $600K.
The shootouts and car chases provide the excitement, but waiting to see how far Chance will go is where the suspense builds. Altogether, the movie deserves a look from fans that may have once ignored it.
Going to an auto parts store, get a new window.
Number 11, Shoot 'em Up. There's little in the way of subtlety or restraint when it comes to 2007's Shoot 'em Up. The film instead feels like a fleshy, gunpowder-flavored comic book, albeit in the best possible way.
The gun will only fire when it recognizes the thumbprint of the owner. That makes firearms safer and it cuts down on crime.
Shoot 'em Up plays in a creative sandbox that feels indebted to 1980s action movie cliches, with a knowing wink and nod of self-awareness.
What's up, Doc?
Oh, you're a wascally wabbit.
Plot, character development, and especially physics are largely put on the back burner, as Shoot 'em Up instead creates over-the-top set pieces. Clive Owen, Monica Bellucci, and Paul Giamatti are clearly having a blast with the material, and Shoot 'em Up is made all the better for its audaciousness. Number 10, Edge of Tomorrow.
You're going the wrong way! You're gonna miss your moment!
There's nothing quite like good old-fashioned word of mouth. 2014's Edge of Tomorrow initially struggled at the box office, and at first it seemed as if the film would be a flop for star Tom Cruise. Yet this adaptation of a 2004 Japanese novel managed to eventually come out the other side and gain a following.
When you killed that Alpha, you inadvertently entered the enemy's nervous system.
Kate, you've seized control of the Omega's ability to reset the day.
How's that even possible?
Fans defended the film's well-actualized action, as well as the gimmicky plot device of Cruise dying over and over again, while caught in a time loop. It's sometimes titled as Live, Die, Repeat Edge of Tomorrow, which actually makes a bit of sense. That said, it doesn't really matter which title you see it under. Edge of Tomorrow deserves your time.
Punch it! Punch it!
Number 9, Strange Days.
Look! This is your life! Right here! Right now!
Imagine a world where you could have any experience in life from the comfort of your own home. In this science fiction thriller, Lenny Nero deals in squid discs, recordings that allow the user to experience someone else's memories and physical sensations.
Let's get you wired up. I hope this axle grease you got in your hair doesn't screw up the squid receptors.
What is all this squid shit anyway?
The James Cameron written story pulls you in from the start and keeps you on the edge of your seat with twists and turns as Nero tries to track down a sex worker's killer.
They never make it in time anyway.
Even though it was a commercial failure, it's hard to see why. Whether it's Lenny's expertly crafted dialogue as he waxes poetic about being the Santa Claus of the subconscious, or the heart-pumping action, Strange Days holds its own as a top-tier film.
I'm the magic man. Santa Claus is the subconscious.
Number 8, Thief. Is there any director that combines style and substance better than Michael Mann? We're not sure, but we do know that this creator of Miami Vice certainly knows how to make banger after banger.
You found my money on gigs. Let us pretend that you don't know whose money it is.
That's right, for Christ's sakes. I don't know who you are.
1981's Thief may be Mann's magnum opus, despite utilizing the well-worn trope of one last big score.
Your rent covers the risk. 830,000, 4 million at wholesale and unmounted stones.
The film's neon-soaked vision and synthesized score from Tangerine Dream underlines the desperation at hand, as does Thief's seedy criminal underworld. James Caan is simply magnetic in the lead, and Mann's direction combines bursts of sudden violence with suspense and complex characterization. We're not for a second suggesting that you only watch one Michael Mann film, but if you do, make it this one.
Working directly for me?
I am self-employed. I am doing fine. I don't deal with egos.
Number 7, Ronin.
Whenever there is any doubt, there is no doubt. That's the first thing they teach you.
Any action movie worth its salt has at least one good car chase scene, and thanks to director John Frankenheimer, Ronin has several. According to the DVD director commentary, the movie used 300 stunt drivers, and in many of the scenes, the actors were actually in the cars when they were shot. When not in a high-speed chase, Robert De Niro plays a tough ex-special ops agent trying to steal a briefcase, although no one will tell him what's inside it.
What's in the case?
That information isn't
Is
necessary.
it heavy? Is it explosive? Is it chained to some unlucky bloke's wrist?
Throw in shootouts and De Niro blowing up a car with a bazooka, and you've got a great but underseen action movie.
You ever kill anybody? I hurt somebody's feelings once.
Number 6, Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai.
I've been expecting you.
Mob movie meets samurai on the big screen in this Jim Jarmusch film. Forrest Whitaker plays a mysterious, soft-spoken hitman following the ways of the ancient Japanese warriors, and he soon finds himself the target of the man he once worked for.
I don't mean you no disrespect. Besides, I don't want to put too many holes in you.
This isn't your classic hard-hitting, guns-blazing action movie. Shootouts are kept to a minimum, and there isn't much dialogue, but the story and its main character make for a compelling film. Plus, hip-hop fans are sure to like the soundtrack produced by the Wu-Tang Clan's RZA, who also makes a cameo appearance.
Ghost Dog, power equality.
I always see everything, my brother.
Number 5, Dredd. We'd like to think that we live in a world where fans of this comic book character can enjoy both the Sylvester Stallone and Carl Urban iterations of Judge Dredd.
The law!
That said, this 2012 version presented the character in a much grittier and more violent light than its 90s predecessor. 2012's Dredd may not have performed well enough financially to warrant a franchise, but fans largely approved of Urban's believable tough guy persona.
Choke on it.
The world of Mega City 1 feels lived in here, where danger, along with excessive slow-mo and dodgy CGI unfortunately, is always lurking around the corner. Who knows, maybe with the success of The Boys, Urban's Dredd will be given the green light to defend the law once more.
I think a bullet might interfere with some more.
Number 4, A Better Tomorrow. Almost everyone deserves a second chance, but does that extend to gangsters responsible for their own father's death? This Hong Kong blockbuster, directed by John Woo, struggles to answer that question, with a healthy dose of action on the side. This This movie may not be considered a classic in North America, but it was a smash hit in Asia, breaking Hong Kong's box office records. Plus, co-star Chow Yun-fat just looks so cool chewing on a matchstick, wearing a trench coat, and mowing down gangsters with a machine gun. Wu would go on to use Yun-fat in his influential 1992 action flick Hard Boiled. So even if reading subtitles isn't your thing, you won't be disappointed.
你信不信有神？信，我就是神。
Number 3, Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World.
And the wind favors us this time.
Don't count your eggs before they're in the pudding, Mr. Calloway.
Oscar season can be a funny thing. Some films that are lavished with awards or nominations go on to become rewatchable classics, while still others fall into the fog of history.
Close with him amidships. Midships is, sir.
Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World was well regarded back when it was released in 2003, well, at least by critics and the Academy. The film underperformed at the box office, however, leading it to be a somewhat underrated entry in lead Russell Crowe's filmography. This was an era of big-budgeted, high-adventure epics like the Lord of the Rings franchise, as well as another naval franchise you may have heard of called Pirates of the Caribbean. That said, we think that this Master and Commander is more than worthy of another look. Number 2, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Shane Black proved that he was more than just a screenwriter back in 2005 when he helmed his first full-length feature.
Wow. Sorry. Hey, good luck.
Titled Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, the film brought together all of Black's trademark wit with a stacked cast.
People freak out. They improvise.
You change your tune every 5 minutes. Kiss me. What? Kiss me. No.
Leads Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer possess a great rapport, while Black's adaptation of the 1941 novel, Bodies Are Where You Find Them, updates classic mystery tropes for the modern day.
Yeah, what happened that he had to kill her, huh?
Harry, will you put a sock in it?
I'm asking a question.
No, I'm saying, yeah, if you ask questions, then it seems like we don't know anything, like we're fishing, okay?
Right.
This is a movie where the city of Los Angeles features heavily as a character all its own, and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang relishes in digging deep into the muck of movie making. It's a movie that just seems to know how cool it is, and we're 100% in for the ride.
Oh, yeah! Oh.
Homophobes never check there.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Snowpiercer.
My friend, you suffer from the misplaced optimism of the doomed.
More action movies should take place on trains. This sci-fi thriller is set on the never-ending rattling arc built to save humanity from a new ice age induced as an effort to combat global warming.
And now you have the sacred responsibility to lead all of humanity. Without you, Curtis, humanity will cease to exist.
The premise for the movie, based on a French graphic novel, is unique and the action scenes are epic, and we guarantee that you've never seen an axe fight scene as brutal as in this one. The Czech-Korean movie did phenomenally abroad, but barely made money when it was released in the US, despite rave reviews. Considering the movie grapples with larger themes of class warfare, population control, and climate change, Snowpiercer is much better than its North American box office numbers indicate.
Close the gate, quick! Shut it!
Want to shout out your favorite action flick? Let us know in the comments.
Doesn't that suck? I just hit you for no reason.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.